Just a reminder that we take giant leaps in time here at the Engine. For instance, this episode occurs 950 years after the departure of form and function from Earth. Enjoy. Every now and then, that which is monotonous is completely upended by the wheel of change. You roll with it, or it runs you over. Those are the options. Today, on the Engine, Chapter 2, Mercury decides which one he wants. I'm your GM, Nate, and with me is my son, Liam, who adeptly portrays Mercury, Function 9. Liam.
Howdy.
Nice to have you. Nice to have you aboard. Niner. Did I hear Niner in there?
Function Niner.
So yeah, let's get going. You want to get going?
Hell yeah.
All right. It is Earth year 3002. A lot has happened in 950 years. Turbulent, chaotic, boring. There are many tales in those 950 years. But they're not this tale. This story is about larger-than-life figures performing the impossible to stop a catastrophe. And it all starts with one act of courage. Mercury, you wake from sleep far more than the other function, who often stay in sleep mode until they are needed by form. You, however, wake often, and you try very hard to be a nuisance to him. It's fun. You know, there's a lot of time to spend, but it's boring too. And currently, it's been almost 6 years since scanners have detected anything. 6 years. Today, you're simultaneously performing communications training verbally and going over schematics in both of your heads. But form seems distracted. You're reviewing communications relays for the new station that he is designing, a homeworld, something called Thought. But he seems stuck on a very simple routing issue. Meanwhile, you sit comfortably and focus on your training. Form says to you, "Let's move to a new section. This is inventive and creative style. This will keep it fresh and allow you to be inventive in the instance that we encounter beings who are less than truthful. Are you ready to begin?
Yes.
Tell me something that makes you sad."
Death of the innocents.
Tell me a lie. Is it not possible for you to lie, Mercury?
I'm trying.
I've seen you with Kratos. You don't always tell him the whole truth. Try to expand that thought.
Is that different from lying?
It is different from lying, but it is a version of lying. Some folks would say that is lying by omission. Your original programming demands that you be honest. Change those subroutines. Give me a D20 roll.
11.
So tell me a really bad lie.
A really bad lie?
Yeah.
I'm wearing blue.
So you see that I can see that you're wearing red, correct?
Yes.
You can't lie when someone can see the truth. Oh, yeah. 900 years, bud. 950 years, to be precise. Okay, let's do this. Roll another D20. And use all of your...
You want me to throw deception on them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Use your full-on deception.
22.
Okay, now tell me a good one.
I feel great.
Good. Me too. But I need you to focus on what we're doing right now. You're wearing red, and you said I'm wearing blue. You can see that I can see that you're wearing red, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But I need you to try to tell me a lie.
I already did.
No, you said you were wearing blue.
Told you I was feeling great.
Okay, so that... Can we pause the schematics in the background? I need to focus.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you guys both stopped thinking about the communications problem you were dealing with for thought. And he says, wow. That was really good. But I'm also upset. Does that mean that you're not feeling really great?
I'm bored.
Okay, well, let's continue on our lesson. You know there's not a lot we can do, but you could go into sleep mode.
I don't know. Sleeping is boring.
Well, there's no... What happens when you sleep?
I don't know.
That's what Leo says, but Kratos says he dreams.
I don't think I dream.
I bet that's not... Would you like to record next time you go into sleep mode?
I would.
Let's do it. Let's continue. Now tell me a truth that you hold very, very dear.
I am encompassed fully and honored by the work that I do.
You seem to not wear that pride on your sleeve as much as the others. Like Leo will pick me up and take me around, carry me places, take me places. And you have this memory immediately of walking into a room and seeing Leo holding form and having a wildly cool discussion with him. You know, and Riot Girl, I feel like she might kill anybody that said that function had no place in the universe. But you don't seem to wear that pride. But your statement just floored me. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, here we go. Let's pretend that you just encountered a vessel, and it's an Earthling, for God's sakes, of all things.
Jesus.
Well, let's do it. Tell me why you hate humans on Earth.
They're selfish. They're motivated by their own desire.
Aren't you? To do good?
Well, I'm a creature created by empathy.
Oh, that's an interesting way to say it. Do you see me as empathetic?
Of course.
Tell me why you love humans on Earth. The harder question.
Because they're capable of empathy. And they are capable of doing really beautiful things with that empathy.
Let's make a note of this. Let's log that. Let's put that as when we start to form whatever we're going to form here, wherever we land and try to make a home, let's use that as a guiding principle too. Like, so we'll value any species that has the capability of empathy, even if we hate some of the things they do.
So a species, their level of advancement is determined by their capability of empathy.
That's a better way to say it. That's maybe a better. We'll log them as a higher level being if their level of empathy is higher. Understood. We'll log that as a prerequisite for being a higher level being.
Correct.
That's well said. Good job. That's very good. So most of the time when you get up, and I see that you're up, and it goes bling.
We get shit done.
There's a function. I know, but it's like now I gotta be dealing with Mercury for the next 17 days or whatever.
Whatever. I mean,
but this is really good. I'm just saying.
You love me.
So much.
We're spitballing.
I'll tell you what. I'll trade you a truth. I try not to keep you guys in the dark, but you know I have my own secrets.
What do you got?
Well, I'll tell you any truth. I'll tell you a truth if I can.
Any truth I want?
Yeah, any truth. I'll tell you a truth that I'm able to tell you.
Why do you want to create thought?
You are, for all intents and purposes, my children. And I know that we are approaching 1,000 years old, and I've never given you a home other than this flying faster than light metal disc. That's not a home. We need a home. And if we can start somewhere fresh, where we can spread goodness and peace and love, all the better.
All right.
Don't you want a home?
Let's go home.
Let's go home. And as you guys are talking, you are interrupted by a sensor alert. A sensor alert is going off, and you head to the bridge. And there on the bridge, you find the comms alarm is going off. So for the first time in 6 years, sensors have detected something. What do you do?
I go to check it out.
Yeah. Why don't you roll? Let's roll an investigation check, and then let's roll an investigation check, and then I know how you're gonna play it tonight because you're so good at it. Let's do that. First, an investigation check.
Investigation is 12.
With the help of the play, you're able to determine exactly where the signal's coming from. It is a mere light year away. It would take you nothing, no time, almost. Mm-hmm. And then I'll need. So as you're like, oh, awesome, and you go to enter those coordinates into the Orplay's navigation computer, and you hear behind you, hey, what are you doing? In its form, obviously.
Mm-hmm. I'm responding to this call. It's doing my job.
Well, you don't want to wake everybody. I mean, this is the first time in 6 years. Do you think we should wake everybody up?
Well,
why don't you roll?
We got it, right? We got it. We don't need to wake anybody up.
Roll a persuasion check.
I'm sure this will be a 49er.
This sounds actually kind of fun. It's not that big a deal, right? It's just what is the signal? What does the signal show? Do you have Arcana? What is your most sciencey?
My most.
I'd even let you bend nature to your will here.
None of those.
Shit. Tech, Arcana?
Performance?
Arcana? Oh, you really are. History?
Yeah, history. Yeah.
All right.
I'll go with that.
Okay.
Ooh, 7.
So Form says, what is this signal? Do we know what it is?
It is a light year away.
So we don't know. Okay. I don't know. It's without knowing what it is. Persuasion again. I just don't feel like that. I don't know.
22.
It could be anything.
Without knowing what it is, I mean, we are creatures of high performance. We are a calibrated
Enter
machine.
the coordinates, my man. You won me over. Let's do it. Forming Niners.
Just like the Earth team. Didn't they win a Super Bowl?
Several.
Quite a lot of them.
Well, I don't want to spare the bandwidth to even care about human stuff. Is that cool?
That's fine
All right.
with me.
Cool. Let's go see this thing. And so you arrive. Now let me have another investigation check.
10.
So passive stuff here would tell you that you're looking at a tubular shaped metallic object with several what appear to be antennae sticking out everywhere, and it is regularly emitting the message or the signal that you picked up originally. So it's regularly emitting this signal, kind of on a steady pulse.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Form, do you think we should hail it?
You can try hailing. Let me do this, okay? Mm-hmm. I know you've been doing a lot lately, but this is like something for the first time in 6 years. Let me just try. Hello. Thank you. Yeah, let's get out of here.
Did they say something?
They didn't respond. It's the same thing. Let's get out of here.
What'd they say?
This is given the same thing. It's just the same signal.
Well, did you try connecting did you press that button right there?
Is it out? This thing? Oh, let me look. Oh.
Hang on,
let me turn it on.
Yeah, and then you're going to want to calibrate the high end.
Hello.
High end a little bit there.
It is. Hello, thing. Nothing.
Okay.
I say we get out of here.
All right.
Let's beat feet.
Can I try?
Sure. Let's do perception, investigation, and your fanciest communications roll, whatever you want that to be. Whichever one that is. Performance, probably.
Perception added together?
Perception, investigation, and performance all added together.
Okay, 17 plus 12, 29 plus, and then
As long as there's no crits in there, we're in business.
performance is a 21.
Okay.
Let me just get in here real quick.
Okay.
I think what's happening here is the message is actually deciphered.
What I need is a body so that I can't just be moved out of the way. Remind me to put that on the list. I want a body.
Okay, we'll get
Function 10. We'll call him Function 10 eventually. I want a body. Okay? So we're going to... Eventually, I'm going to make a Function 10, and he's going to be my body. I just want you to know that.
be your body. Number 10. There we go. Then we'll have double digits. That's kind of cool.
An even number. An even number.
Even.
Okay.
We'll probably keep it that way forever.
And then, in my mind, when you say, let me just get in there, and you shove me out of the way like that, I will be able to shove back.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah. Meanwhile, so with that awesome roll, you get to work, and you very quickly you determine that you are able to decipher this message. The translation is going to take every bit of 2 days, though. And the first, you're immediately able to tell that it's repeating, which tells both of you guys that this is it's relaying an important message. Form was kind of kidding about we should get out of here. He's been working on a subroutine that gives him a sense of humor. It's not fully developed here. It's stuck on British. It's stuck on British.
It's almost there. Yeah. It's evolving.
So you're absolutely able to decipher. It's going to take a couple days. And as you guys are talking about that and trying to figure it out, red alert starts to sound. And you, so let me have just a normal D20 roll.
That alarm sound is perfect. It's not annoying or high-pitched, but it's also alarming at the same time.
Thank you. And it's also, and most importantly, proprietary.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh shit, there's something going on, but I'm not, like, my brain isn't.
And we own it. So that's a Nate Marin original, baby.
You can purchase this alarm for all your
just
emergencies.
More like we don't have to purchase it. Nobody can sue us. So go pound sand one's behind. All right. So
I got a 12.
Okay.
Raw.
The instrument panel shows immediately. You've been studying a little bit of what Cammy or what Riot Girl does here on the bridge, and you do a little bit of understanding what Rango's doing.
Ship flies itself.
It does largely, but there's lots of alerts that you're kind of learning. Immediately, you recognize that you're one of the third fighter that you have aboard the Orplay, which goes by the name of the Mad Astra, has just left the ship. And is like jumping to warp drive.
All right, well, let me reach the comms of the third fighter.
Oh, sure, go ahead.
All right. Fighter 3? Is there a function inside?
You hear the following. And then a struggle. And then nothing.
Okay, well, I'm going to quickly run and then do a head count on board.
Okay, so you run to everyone's quarters, kind of pop in. Absolutely, you do that. That takes. We'll say that takes you 5 minutes, right? You run through the ship. You check all of the rooms, and you realize that both function 1 and 2 are not on board the ship.
Okay. Form.
Yeah.
Function 1 and 2 are missing.
Well, I guess they're not missing. They left in the Mad Astra, I assume.
Well, yeah, but it sounded like a struggle. We should do something.
Okay, what do you want to do?
Probably wake up the crew.
Yeah. Let's not. And then he goes. The communications with him goes dark.
Form. Hello?
You left him in the bridge. That's the last time you saw him.
Son of a bitch.
So he was on the bridge last time you saw him. You are now in the... you're in the... I assume you're on the halls looking for you were whoever you found last in the last room to be missing. I assume that's where you contacted Form from. Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's where you are. That would be we'll call it Function 1's room.
Okay.
And the last time you left Form, who does not have a body, was on the bridge.
Okay. I go back to the bridge then.
Okay. And so you enter the bridge, and you see Form kind of on his pedestal.
Form, why do you think we shouldn't wake up the crew?
What's that? What's that now?
Why do you think we should not wake up the crew?
Well, it seems like we're kind of in the middle of something, right? I mean, we're trying to do this message.
Yeah, I mean, we could, kind of tackle two things at once.
Well,
we got a crisis and just a project.
Persuasion. Persuasion. And no, insight and then persuasion.
Insight and persuasion. Okay, my persuasion was 32.
No. Okay, so that's a big winner.
And then my insight was 24.
Judas Priest.
Okay, wait. Give me the insight first.
Yeah, exactly. You so say those in the correct order. So your insight roll.
My insight was 24.
Okay. Wow. He's hiding something from you. And for the first time in your life, you hear the worst sound you've ever heard, and it's Form whistling.
Okay, Form. I'm just gonna. Maybe we don't whistle anymore. I don't think that's working for you. And since you don't have a body,
lips.
I will
I feel
not.
Like lips are the
lips
main.
are key. Lips are critical to whistling.
I can reproduce the tone perfectly, right? But I don't want to do that
without. You gotta have the lips though. It's you can play guitar, but if you don't have a guitar,
right.
Well,
if I'm playing a facsimile of a guitar, I'm not really playing that.
Right. Right.
So this has been a great discussion. Why don't we call it a night?
Okay,
call it a night. Well, I'll see you in the morning then, bud. Off to bed.
Well, next thing though, I'd like to mention. I want to say I trust
persuasion.
you.
You rolled what was your
32.
Okay, now, okay, persuade me.
I trust you. I'm going to do whatever you think is best. I'm programmed to.
Yes,
but I want to know what's going on.
I think we've all exceeded our programming after 950 years.
We've all exceeded our programming by far, to the point where we're just critters, really. So, and if you do love me as a father...
Oh, you did that thing.
I did.
All right, let's do
this.
Then
it means that we're also capable of being honest with each other.
I'll tell you the truth if we can agree that we're not going to wake up the others.
Agreed.
Last time you went to sleep, you slept for what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So, I realized that we had changed course.
How?
Suddenly, I was in reverie. I was designing thought, and I realized that we had changed course. So I quickly kind of realized what was going on, and Function 1 was in the bridge, and he had punched in new coordinates. And after I asked him why, he set the coordinates back to where they went and went back to sleep. And he did this 2 more times over that 2 weeks. So I ran complete diagnostics on him, and I'm not able to find any apparent, bugs or malware inside him. So I woke up Function 2, and I asked him to keep an eye on Function 1. So he set his sleep mode to wake him when Function 1 woke. That way I could design thought and not have to spend so much time concentrating. So my suspicion is Function 2 has gone after Function 1.
Understood.
I'm more interested in finding out what's going on than improving the situation. Do you understand?
I do.
I want to know why and what, and so this seems like a good way to find out.
Is there any way I can assist? Just let me know.
I don't think so. Get working on the buoy. And he turns to you, and you can tell he's pretty upset about... It's not like he's not upset about them leaving. He's actually quite upset about it. But you know that he's tracking the Mad Astra. There's trackers in the Mad Astra and that he's working on, and begins kind of several system checks. And over the next couple of days, you guys... you keep checking on him. You pop your head in to see how he's doing, and he seems legitimately, I don't know how a blue orb presents as being kind of bummed. Maybe he's not glowing as brightly as he was, but he's definitely bummed out. And you one of these times you come into the bridge, and during these days while the buoy is being translated by this, by the messages being translated here, you come onto the bridge and you find that form is just kind of glowing kind of dimly.
Okay.
Not as bright. And this is about maybe a day and a half after you found the buoy and the Mad Astra left. So you're almost done with the translation. You're just kind of popping in to see how he's doing, and you can tell he's not doing great.
Cool. How's that message?
Just 98.6% done here.
Almost there.
Yeah.
Almost there.
Yeah. And then he goes into a kind of a quiet revelry mode that you don't seem to be able to draw him out of very fast. And then he actually does something you've never seen him do, which is he sighs.
Something on your mind? You seem awfully dim.
This is that human thing where they would beg for people to talk to him by doing that sighing.
I believe the phrase is I think traditionally the Earthling would sigh in an attempt to gain some sort of sympathy or draw awareness to the fact that they're emotionally distraught.
I feel like we had an empathy conversation recently.
And then I will promptly respond by saying penny for your thoughts or something along the lines.
Nice. Yeah, and I'm going to just tell you, since I think that's what
And we
happens.
have no money.
Oh, right. So I'll just tell you. I thought they'd be back by now. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought they would be back by now.
I thought they would be too.
And as he says that, the console kind of gives you a beep, 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 beep. The message is done.
The engine has started. All galaxies execute Action Plan Delta. The engine has started. All galaxies execute Action Plan Delta.
And it repeats.
The engine?
Yes. I know what an engine is. Do you know what an engine is?
I'm familiar with an engine.
Yes.
But what is the engine?
God damn, I'm glad we didn't chase our colleagues for this bullshit.
Yeah.
And Form, really, really rarely swears. So...
Shocking, isn't it?
And as you're talking about it,
We got an alert.
another alert happens. The sensor goes off, and Form, his glow turns from a dimly lit blue to a much, much brighter blue. Maybe the brightest blue you've seen him since you were formed. And he spins. He starts to spin. He's like, go to the observation deck. Go to the observation deck. And you arrive, and you take him with you, right? You bring him with you, and you arrive in the observation deck. And this is what you see. After hundreds and hundreds of years of absolute inky blackness, it is a single pinprick of light growing in the distance. And you realize that as you look at the sensors located around the observation platform, you realize you're looking at a galaxy. You're approaching a galaxy. And as you stand there, holding Form, he says, I think we're looking at a new galaxy. I think we're almost there. Why don't you name it, since you were awake?
When we reach this galaxy and we make our home, and if it becomes what we really think it's going to be, the galaxy will be connected like a network, almost. And I'm thinking about the earthly organism, mushrooms. I think we should call the galaxy mycelia.
And Form, the weight of him kind of shifts, so you can tell he's spinning his attention or whatever. And he says, that is a fine name. That is a fine name. And you can tell he's moved. I think you better go wake the others.
We're almost home.